Welcome again, students, in the second session of lesson number 1, A Letter to God by G.L. Fuentes. We have up to here read that the postmaster and his colleagues somehow managed to collect more than half the money Lencho needed, and they just sent the money and letter to Lencho in his reply to the letter of God. So let's see what happens next. The following Sunday, Lencho came a bit earlier. Can you tell me why did he come a bit earlier? No? He came to the post office bit earlier than the previous Sunday when he had come to post the letter to God. He had come earlier because he had complete faith that definitely there would be a reply from God, and he was quite excited for that. He just wanted to have the reply as soon as possible. So that's why he came a bit earlier than usual to ask for if there was a letter for him. Means if there was a letter for him, someone has sent a letter to him. It was the postman himself who handed the letter to him, while the postmaster, experiencing the contentment of a man who has performed a good deed, looked on from his office. Means the postman who had collected his letter from the mailbox last Sunday, he handed the letter to him with while the postmaster was looking at his expressions and his you can say how he will react after watching his reply from God. He just wanted to watch the person's reply, or you can say the reaction. He just saw him from his office. He didn't come out. He had a contentment. He was satisfied. The postmaster was satisfied that he had done and his staff had done something wonderful, something good to help out a poor person. So he just didn't come out to express whatever he has done. He just stood in his office and looked how will Lencho behave. Okay, next paragraph. Lencho showed not the slightest surprise, slightest means the least, on seeing the money. Means he Lencho didn't find it something surprising when he saw the money in the envelope. He had expected this for the same. Means he wrote a letter to God to help him out with money, and he got the money. So it was just a general happening according to him. He was such a simple-minded person by his heart that he knew it, that definitely God would send him money. So he didn't have slightest of surprise. Such was his confidence. But he became angry when he counted the money. God could not have made a mistake, nor could he have denied Lencho what he had requested. Means, but when he counted the money, he found it less than what he demanded. So there were two thoughts in his mind. The first, that God could not make a mistake, and secondly, and definitely he would not deny the help that he needed. So immediately Lencho went up to the window to ask for paper and ink, and he went to the window to get the paper and ink from the postman. On the public writing table, he started to write with much wrinkling of his brow, caused by the effort he had to make to express his ideas, because he was just a simple fellow. So he didn't have he didn't have a linguistic way to say things. So he had to make a lot of effort to put his things down on the paper, to put his thoughts on right down on his paper. So much effort was needed from him. So he just went to the table, he started writing, and from the wrinkling of his brow, one could imagine that he had to make a lot of effort to express his views. When he finished, he went to the window to buy a stem, which he licked and then affixed it to. So after finishing his letter, he just went to the window to get a stamp, and he just fixed the stamp on the envelope, and he just with the blow of his fist, he used his fist to stick it on the paper. The moment the letter fell into the mailbox, the postmaster went to open it. Means the moment after Lencho had gone posting his letter, the postmaster very quickly went to the to the mailbox and just collected that letter and opened it to read. It's sad. It's sad means the following words were written on the letter. God, of the money that I asked for, only 70 pesos reached me. Means out of 100 I asked you to send 100 pesos, but you send me only 70 pesos. Send me the rest. Rest means the remaining 30 pesos. Rest here stands for the remaining 30 pesos, since I need it very much. But don't send it to me through the mail, because the post office employees are a bunch of crooks. Lencho, and it was signed as by Lencho. Means see the irony. See the ironical situation. The people who have helped him, he is calling those people as crooks, the criminals or dishonest people. See here. So he said very straightforwardly, means I only got 70 pesos. I asked for 100 pesos. Send me the rest, the 30 pesos. Since means because see, it is separated by a comma. So since here is not a preposition, it is here a conjunction. Since I need it very much, because I need it very much, but don't send it to me through the mail. But next time when you send 30 pesos, don't send it me through the letter, because the post office employees are a bunch of crooks. Means he was thinking that his 30 pesos were, you can say, taken out from the envelope by the staff members of the post office. So he was calling them a bunch of crooks. Bunch of means a group of dishonest people. So send me those remaining 30 pesos in some other manner, not by the post. So here you can see what happens in real life. This is what irony one has to face. Let's come to the comprehension check. Was Lencho surprised to find a letter from him with money in it? No, he was not at all surprised. Instead, he was angry that his 30 pesos was stolen by the employees of the post office. So he was angry. See here, what made him angry? What made him angry means the fact that he believed in that the money was stolen by the employees of the post office made him angry. See here, I have written here some phrases which you can use instead of getting angry or angry. See, get agitated. You can replace the word angry with what made him get agitated. What made him fly off the handle? What made him lose his cool? What made him drive nuts? What made him lose his temper or lose the temper? These all expressions you can use for the word getting angry. Got it, everyone? So I hope up to here you must have understood. This was a simple chapter from which we have learned that one should have unflinching faith in God, and of course God answers in somehow, in some manner, if you have the unflinching robust faith in him, right? But there is a question that always arises. Should we have faith in everyone, or in whom should we have faith? See here on the first question on the first page of the chapter. Think what your answers to this question will be, and guess how the story before the question is. Yes, they say faith can move mountains, but what should we put our faith in? This is the question the story delicately poses. Means Lencho put his faith, complete faith in God, and he didn't have faith in the employees. So it was an ironical situation. To whom did he had complete faith? Actually, through the staff members, or you can say the staff members of the post office. He of course the help was from God's side. He made them, the employees made them, you can say the way how he could help Lencho. So Lencho should have faith in the employees also. or but he had the faith in God. He thought that the employees had stolen his money. So what should we put our faith in? We generally don't believe people, but we should have faith in people also. There are generally of course we do find good people around us in the world, so we should have faith in people also. Okay, next let's move to the question answer segment. Who does Lencho have complete faith in? Means in God. Which sentence in the story tell you this? Please go through the chapter again, and you will find a number of examples where you can underline those sentences which express that Lencho had a complete faith in. One of the examples you can take, when he got the money, there was not even the slightest surprise on his face. You can see that you can use there. And again he wrote the letter to God. That was again an example that he had a complete faith in God, and he wrote that send me the rest of the money through some other, you can say way, not through the mail. So this is also again an example of his complete faith. Now next is, why does the postman send money to Lencho? Why does he sign the letter in God? It was just an act of charity or goodwill. Why does he sign the letter God? Because he didn't want to break his faith in God. He had never seen such a person who could have such robust or strong faith in God, so he didn't want him to lose his faith in God. Question number 3, did Lencho try to find out who had sent the money to him? No, not at all, because he had complete faith that God must have sent this money to him, right? Why not? Why not? Why not? We can't say yes, he tried to find out, because he didn't find out. He didn't want to find out who has sent money to him, because he had complete faith in God that God has sent him money, and he can never make the mistake. He can never say no to help him out. Question number 4, who does Lencho think has taken the rest of the money? The staff members of the post office. What is the irony in the situation? Irony means, see, an ironic situation is a strange or amusing, because it is the opposite what is expected. What is expected means he must have thought, who had sent me the money, but he didn't. Instead, the people who sent him the money, who helped him out, he blamed those people that they had stolen his money. Clear? Okay, question number 5, are there people like Lencho in the real world? Yes, of course there are. We come across such people across the world. What kind of person would you say he is? You might select appropriate words from the box to answer the questions. Greedy, was he greedy? No. Naive, see the pronunciation of the word, naive. New at something? No. Not very experienced, he was not very experienced person. Stupid? No, he was not stupid. Ungrateful? No, he was not at all ungrateful. He was grateful to God. Selfish? No. Comical? Yeah, something comical, something humorous and funny. Unquestioning? Yes, he didn't have any question regarding the existence of God and his help, the way he helps out. So you can take out three words from here. Okay, question number 6, there are two kinds of conflict in the story, between humans and nature and between humans themselves. How are these conflicts illustrated? Illustrated means shown, depicted, how it has been described in the story. Humans and nature, the hailstorm and Lencho's cornfield, it was destructed by the hailstorm. There was a conflict. Means conflict, you understand? Something kind of battle, and between humans themselves means Lencho and the employees of the post office. Means the employees helped him, but he could never take it like they had helped him. He could never realize, he could never visualize, he could never have faith in those people. So there is a kind of battle between humans, means they don't rely upon each other. So these two kinds of conflicts have been illustrated in the story. You can tell about the cornfield. Humans worked very hard Lencho worked very hard in his cornfield throughout the year, but the nature had a battle with his hard work, and it destroyed his cornfield within no time. So this was the conflict. You can take the example from the story. And the humans themselves mean the humans helped the post office employees helped him, but he didn't rely on them, and instead of relying, he called them a bunch of crooks. So there was a battle between the humans. You can write down the answer. Next is the exercises. See here, you can pause the video for a while. I have answered all the questions given on this page, and you can have either a pick, or you can pause the video and write down the answers. Next is on page number match the sentences in column A with the meanings of hope in column B. Hope can be expressed in several ways. See here, I have already given the numbers. If you can see here, 3, 5, 6, 1, 2, 4. There are 6 expressions in column A, and how hope can be described in these how hope has been described in these 6 sentences, 6 expressions. You have to match them in column B. I have mentioned the answers here in blue. You can note down from here, and it will take no time at all. You can pause the video for a while, and you can either take a screenshot, or you can pause the video. You can write down the answers in your books. So do it. Next is relative clauses. Who, whom, whose, which, as. When we use these words and join 2 sentences, the sentence which begin with these who, whom, whose, which, that becomes a relative clause. See, I have written the answers here. I often go to Mumbai, which is the commercial capital of India. So you will put Mumbai from here. I often go to Mumbai, which is the commercial capital of India. So you have to cut here, delete from here. Mumbai is, you have to delete Mumbai is from here, delete it from here. Next is my mother. My mother is going to host a TV show on cooking. She cooks very well. Who? You have to join it with who. My mother, put a comma here, who cooks very well, again put a comma, is going to host a TV show on cooking. That's all. See here, my mother, put a comma, who cooks very well. We are using who, relative pronoun here, is going to host a TV show on cooking. Okay, next. Third, these sports persons, put a comma, whose performance has been excellent, again a comma, are going to meet the president. Lencho prayed to God, comma, whose eyes see into our minds, whose eyes see into our minds. So you have to cut here from his. You will cut this word from here. Next is number 5. This man, comma, whom I trusted, again a comma, cheated me. This man, comma, whom I trusted, comma, cheated me. This is again done. Okay, next is emphasis. We have been talking while reading the chapter, the emphasis, negatives for emphasis, not, never. You must have remember that. No corn, left nothing, aren't raindrops, no coins. Okay, next is see here, we have been given here 3 sentences, and you have to do what, which express the following ideas empathetically. Okay, the ideas have been given here in black, and the lines that we have taken from the chapter have been written here. So again, you can pause the video, either you can take the photo, or you can just write down the answers in your book. Next is metaphors. We have been using the metaphors, raindrops, new coins, and the idea, it has the quality of feature compared, the draping or covering of an area by the curtain, hailstones, new silver coins, frozen pearls, the resemblance in color and hardness of a pearl, locusts, plague of locusts. Again, it has been already given here, an epidemic, a disease that spreads very rapidly, quickly, In ox of a man, it has been used for lencho, and it symbolizes hard work. Okay, that's all for the day. We will soon meet in our next class with next chapter.